Thank you so much, Bev. This evening we have a little change in our program because there's a lot of activity where our elected officials have to attend and our honorees as well. So I would like to call General Treasurer Seth Magaziner, and right after Senator Reid and their remarks, and we're going to proceed with the award at the same time.
Well, good evening, everybody. That was pretty good. Good evening, everybody. All right. I want to start by recognizing Anise Germain and the Board of Hope and Change for Haiti for their incredible work. This is an organization, a relatively new organization on the scene in Rhode Island that has grown by leaps and bounds and has had a tremendous impact, not only for the people of Haiti, but for the people of Rhode Island, and I thank you for that. To all of the speakers and award winners, thank you. Thank you, Danielle and Bev and Aswood and Cheryl Burrell, who I'll talk about in a moment, my friend Hillary Friedman, and one of my heroes, Chairwoman Williams, thank you very much. And of course, Senator Reid, a great ally as well. We have events where we talk about the progress and the struggles of the African American community. We have events where we talk about the advancement and the struggles of women in our society. And it is not often enough that we pause to reflect in particular on the story of women of color in our country and in our state. And I think that this is a good occasion to do that. Because, of course, women of color in our society have the unique challenge of dealing with both the struggles of institutional racism and also institutional sexism that have held back so many. But at the same time, there are so many inspiring stories of women of color in Rhode Island and nationally who have done incredible work across a variety of fields, from industry to government to medicine to academia. And despite those long odds and those challenges, have thrived and have led and have brought our society to new heights. And it is incumbent upon all of us, particularly those of us who occupy positions of power, to do everything that we can to assist in that advancement and to break down those barriers so that it is easier each successive generation for young women of color to grow into leaders. We're doing our part. We're trying to do our part in the Treasurer's Office the best we can in a range of ways. One is by leading by example, and I'm proud of the fact that we have a number of women of color in positions of authority in our office: Director of our Unclaimed Property Department, Director of Outreach, Deputy Director of the Crime Victims Compensation Program. We also just appointed the first woman of color to the State Investment Commission in the state's history, overseeing over $15 billion of the state's assets. And we try to do our best to make a national impact and an international impact as well. One thing that we've been working on that I think I'm particularly proud of is our effort to push corporate America to improve their diversity. As the Treasurer's Office, we oversee, as I said, nearly $15 billion of assets. Much of it is invested in big publicly traded companies. And if you look at the S&P 500, the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States, less than 25% of the board seats on those companies are held by women, less than 10% of by people of color, less than 5% by women of color. As was said, I think very eloquently and correctly, if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu. And that's just as true in corporate America as it is in government. And so, as investors, we, the state of Rhode Island, have the opportunity to vote on slates of candidates at all of these companies for their boards. A couple of years ago, we established a new policy where we said that if a slate of candidates for a corporate board is less than 30% diverse, we will vote no on the entire slate. We were only the second state in the United States to adopt that sort of a policy. And what's really exciting is that since we did that, and since we started voting no at hundreds and hundreds of companies around the country, we have since engaged in conversations with many of those companies and said to them, hey, we voted no on your slate. Would you like to know why, and would you like to talk about it? And then subsequent to those conversations, many of those companies in the next year put out new slates of candidates that were more diverse. And big household name companies, companies like Walmart and eBay and Lockheed Martin, and even CVS here in Rhode Island. So we're trying to do everything that we can, but we always know we can do better. We each have to ask ourselves, what else can we do? So hold our feet to the fire. Let us know what else we can be doing, we should be doing. And I will just say it is an honor to be here with all of you tonight. And with so many great leaders who are moving our state and our country forward. So thank you all, and have a great evening.